too. Jim, what is your plans now? You know, you've worked for one company for 30 some years, and you've been, you've touched the hearts of many a fan. You've created many of hits. What do you want to do? What's your dream? What's your goal right now?
Well, thank you for asking. There are many things I want to do, and I'm starting to do. I am in no particular, well, I guess in a particular order. I want to score stuff for film and television because more traditional orchestral type, basically, or say it's not sometimes synth-based as well, but it's what, curiously, people know the least about me, but it's also what I think I absolutely do best. So that I'm trying to figure out how to get my name and reputation out to the people who are hiring people to write scores for TV and film. And then on the other side, I grew up with country music, and I've written a lot of country songs, and I'm trying to figure out how to get those to performers in the country market who don't write their own material. And so there, I haven't found it yet, because, as I said, this is all new, and I'm just starting the process. But I'm just figuring that, like in the global country music market, there have to be some of these artists who know my work from WWE and aren't even aware that they know my work from WWE, and so so that would be a good starting point to try to find those folks. But so it's just a interesting. It's like starting a brand new career, but it's pretty exciting. It's a little scary, but it's overall it's exciting. And I'm as I said, more than anything, it's so great just to get that feeling of how much I love music and how much I love writing it.
Do you know who PJ Bloom is?
Do I know? Say the name again.
His name's PJ Bloom.
I don't.
He's the number one song placement guy, on the West Coast. If you don't mind, I can hand him over your information.
Oh my God, I'd love it.
You'd be cool with that?
Hey, I am, along with not thinking everything I've accomplished is because of wonderful me, that I start bigger picture, and there's a little greater amount of humility in it. Along with that, I am, I know that all of us need help in this life, and right now I'm reaching out to anyone I know who can, and I'm comfortable with that because I do have the faith that I can help them make their projects better, or I can write songs that will be a hit for you and make you a bigger star. I would be much more uncomfortable doing that if I thought I couldn't contribute something.
Definitely you can.
To make their lives better, to make their businesses better, to make their film better. I know I can do that, but it's getting to those people, and how many times in all of our lives do we discover something through pure happenstance, and I'm not talking about just music now, but anything, it's like you never even heard of it or thought about it, and coincidentally some friend takes you fly fishing, and it ends up becoming the absolute love of your life, and it's because you just didn't really know it existed. And so a lot of that is it's about getting the word out. There's a little bit of a weirdness in my situation, because if people are not aware of WWE, or never never went through any part of their life where they were even a little bit of a fan, and then you get this resume on your desk or something, it's like, oh, well, this is the guy who did all that stuff for WWE. I think there are a lot of immediate conclusions that can be jumped to that are wrong. That would be like, oh well, then he must be a heavy metal only guy. And relative to what you mentioned earlier, I'm absolutely not a heavy metal only guy. But we all can only react to things with what we know, and if we don't know the whole story, it's tough. So yep. Hey, my God, let him know. Love it.
All right. Yeah. What he does is he places commercials. He places for video games, movies, songs for movies. And we're working with him. And this is part of our, let's try to change music campaign with, I work with a lot of local talent. I have a radio show that
what kind of radio show do you do?
I am on an FM show in Santa Barbara, and then I do an online show out of my garage. Like I literally built a studio out of my garage.
Really?
Yes.
Great.
And
some of the greatest things ever, music and technology, came out of garages.
And that's what we do. We search for music, and our town is it's saturated with great music. And that's what we're up to. All we're trying to do is keep music alive for as long as we can.
Well, God bless you, because to get back to the music versus now it's become so much about the spectacle, and along with that, relative to your asking what I want to do next, one of the challenges that I'm seeing clearly is so much of what people are, or of the people who are succeeding in music now, it's because they're the best self-promoters of themselves and what they're doing.
Yes.
And the sort of, my experience at least, has been that people who are more sort of serious about the art and the music, they tend to be horrible self-promoters. And because
I've noticed that too.
It comes with a great amount of, I think, inherent insecurity and a shyness, that both of which are things that do not lend themselves to self-promotion. I mean, I know it in my life. I'm pathetic. I mean, it's just because it just makes me. Yeah, it brings up every insecurity. It makes me embarrassed, to promote yourself, because it feels like you're bragging on yourself, and that just seems counterintuitive to me. But you have to get the word out there somehow. So,
do you have a YouTube channel?
Excuse me?
Do you have a YouTube channel?
I don't yet. Oh my God, it's so pathetic. I was never a social media guy, but now I've started. I'm scratching the surface. I've now got a LinkedIn account, and that's sort of interesting as I get to figure it out. I'm building a website, and that'll be interesting. The place to put some music up, and hopefully people can get a taste for what I'm doing next. You tell me, what is a YouTube channel?
All right. Well, this is how I would imagine it, right? You have a legion of people who love you. I mean, that's just what it is. We'll call a spade here. And of course, they would love to know what you're doing. They would love to be kept in contact, with you, and to see what's going on. So, I mean, I'm just thinking of other songs. Like, just if you were to put up a video, just of you maybe jamming away, or not even saying nothing, just, have the camera focus in on your fingers when you're playing guitar, or when you're playing the piano, or even put up different songs, and you put that up on a YouTube channel, and people, they're going to look you up. If you look on YouTube, there's not a lot of things with you on it. So you would I mean, of course, you can just kill that market, and you can even get paid for it. I mean, one of your videos, I can imagine, can be 100, 200,000 people listening to it. And it's pretty decent money for just messing around, And other people will be able to see you. And then that will get shared on other people's social media. And then that will get, shared on another person's social media until somebody that, might be in a higher position will see you and say, hey, I want this guy for my project. Mm-hmm. So it's a way of promoting without promoting, without feeling like you're whoring yourself out.
Yes. Okay. I will look into that.
Yeah.
Good tip.
No, that's what we do. That's what I do. Like I think of ways to how do I promote music, and that is always like one of the best advices one of the advice I give to the local bands in our area is you have to be local, or you have to put yourself out there. Other people have to see you. They can't just hear.
Well, yeah, I mean, it really is. It does, in fact, come down to that simple a notion: is people can't get excited about what they don't know exists. You've got to get the word out somehow. So, yes, and that's what I was going for with the website is, have on the website, just start putting up some stuff I'm writing now, whether it's for something or not for something, but just to have it so people who are interested can kind of check out, like, hey, I wrote this little, here's a demo of something I wrote last week.
Yes. And that would be perfect. What you can do on your website is you can put it on YouTube, and then you can put the link onto your website. And any person that listens to that, you would be able to get any sort of residual money or monetization from YouTube. Mm-hmm. And it's easier for people to share on social media. So if it's just on
meaning because YouTube is so ubiquitous and everybody goes there, and yeah.
Mm-hmm. And let's say you have 50 videos up, people are going to, once they look Jim Johnston and see you are actually, putting up videos, then they'll go, oh, Jim Johnston, oh, the next one, and you find yourself caught in this hole where you're constantly, you're sitting there for 2.5 hours watching YouTube videos.
Wow. Okay, I will look into that.
Yeah, and Jim, anytime you need, if you ever need help, I'm not looking for anything. Like, you've made my life. I have 5 interviews I want to do in my life, and you are the number 2 interview that I wanted to do, and like, this is a dream come true to me. Like, I will never be able to I will never be able to forget this. I will never be able to repay you for this. Like,
oh my God, no! And no, you with the one introduction that you already offered, it's more than paid back, and you don't even have to do that. But no, I really appreciate the offer, Tim. It's great.